Hi, my name's Gleed, and in this workout I'm going to take you through a rip training series of exercises where we're going to start to challenge your heart rate, we're going to challenge your strength, your mobility, and some of your athletic movement as well. So join me with a 3-minute warm-up, and then we're going to start taking you through a series of exercises with a couple of challenges at the end as well. Let's begin with getting our bodies ready for what we're going to be doing. The first thing I want you to do is start to lean forwards from your hips, and I want you to walk your hands forwards and just lower your hips down into an upward dog, and then push your hips backwards as you push through your arms into a downward facing dog. Let's repeat that into your up dog, curving the back gently, rolling the shoulder blades back and down, and again pushing through your hands, lifting your hips high, eyes look towards your toes into that downward facing dog. We'll do it one more time. Roll the hips forward, shoulder blades back and down, look and your eyes up towards the ceiling, and then again push through the hips, lifting your hips high, feeling a little bit of weight through your heels as you push those arms straight into the floor. And now walk your hands all the way back up, slight bend in your knee, roll up through the spine, and loosen yourself back out again. Okay, let's go for that again. Lean yourself forwards, walking your hands out in front. Now this time we're going to go into your upwards dog. Then push into your downward facing dog, and this time you're going to lift one foot up, take it up towards where your hand is, and I want you to settle the weight between both feet, reaching your hand up high so you can get a nice reach all the way through the body. Push your way into downward facing dog again, and then reach your arm up towards the opposite side, and again reach that higher hand high. Lower it down towards the floor, push back to downward facing dog, and let's repeat over towards the opposite side. And this world's greatest running stretch is a great way to prepare your body for rip training, because it starts to use your body in multiple planes of movement, reaching through your arms and your legs at the same time, and it really puts a nice amount of stress through the core, just so we can start to activate a lot of the muscles around you as well. Each time we're moving into these positions, it's just a case of moving into the position, taking a little bit of work into the muscles which are holding you there, and then bring yourself back out of that position, and then again into that upwards and downwards facing dogs, and then walk your hands all the way back up to you, roll yourself back up to a standing position, and just loosen yourself up. Now the first exercise we're going to have a look at is a alternating rip step press. So we're going to grab your rip trainers, and we're going to stand facing away from the anchor point, starting with the resistance band having a little bit of tension. With your feet fairly narrow and the hands right in front of the chest, all we're going to do is simply take a step forwards and press the bar out in front of you and return. Okay? Now each exercise we're going to be doing starts now. It's going to be for 45 seconds. And I say we can alternate through the feet, or you could be working on just a single leg if you wanted to. Now we'll work both sides of the body. But what we're looking to do is just to keep your body pushing the arms forwards. And as you start to take your arms into that press, you're going to be feeling the resistance starting to build up. This is already going to start to activate a lot of the muscles around the glutes and the legs all the way up through your core as you start to press those arms forwards. Think of this one as almost a preparation exercise to begin to get your body moving, starting to draw the blood into the muscles which are going to be working. So then later on we can start to activate a few more of those muscles as well. Okay, relax there. Now what we're going to do is swap over to the opposite side. Now we've got about a 15-second rest period in between each exercise. So again, plenty of time to get yourself set up, making sure you're directly in front of the anchor point, into an athletic stance with a slight bend in the knees, and then again press the arms forwards as you take yourself into that step. So an alternating step position as you press the bar away from the chest. Each time the bar comes back in towards the body, you're aiming for the bar path to be around about the sternum height, so the center of the chest. And you're trying to make sure that the cord on the resistance band is never going to be scraping against your arms as well. So as you start to press those arms forwards, you're always in control of the bar rather than the bar pulling you around. Now today I'm using a medium resistance band, but you could simply change that to make these exercises very different, using a light band, a heavy, extra heavy, or there is the double extra heavy band if you wanted to as well. Okay, relax there. Let's turn you around again. Now what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to set you up for a rip stack side step. So what we can do is bring your base hand down to the side, and your power hand is going to be holding the resistance band out in front, and we're just going to step and then come back. So it's almost like taking a narrow stance and then stepping out into position and then stepping back again. Now the goal here is to maintain tension on the resistance band the whole time. So if at any time you feel like your resistance band is too slack, that's when you won't feel any resistance, and that's when the exercise doesn't really get any benefit to you as well. So just stepping out towards the side and back in. It's just stepping maybe just a little bit wider than shoulder width, and then step back in towards the center and swap over to the opposite side. Now when you're doing this exercise, we will be swapping over to the opposite side where you'll see my back towards you, and that's when you're going to start to see the way that the shoulders are stacked as well. So let's swap the hands over. As you're stepping away from the person this time, so feet are close together, as you step, you're looking for this base hand to be pulling the bar right next to your hips as well. Okay, let's go for 45 seconds, step out and back in again. And again, when you're doing this movement, trying to hold the bar in the same position each time. It can be easy to lose your concentration and to allow the bar to start to come back in towards the center of the body, where we ideally want the end of the bar to be directly in front of your hip. And it's the hip that you're always going to be holding as strong and as stable as you can as well. When you're doing this exercise, try to maintain a slow, steady tempo, so you're constantly working, activating the muscles. Think of these movements as the preparation. This is going to teach your body how to work with the resistance, ready for some of our more challenging exercises as we go through the workout as well. Okay, relax there. Good job. Okay, the next exercise is a rip squat overhead press. So what we're going to do is we're going to stand facing away from the anchor point, and I'm just going to get into my end range position. So I've got my overhead position, and then I'm going to be bringing the bar path down in towards me and going into a squat. And then for 45 seconds, as you come out of that squat, you're going to press the bar up and overhead into that extended arm position. And you can see that my eyes are always following the bar path as well. Now the reason why that's a good form to have is it starts to make sure that you are consistently pushing the bar to the same height, and it makes sure that your back is not going to go into too much flexion or extension at any time. Now you might look at the squat and think it's not too deep, and that's absolutely fine. One of the progressions that you could do is to start going to a deeper squat, and that will start to challenge not only your range of movement, but start to increase your heart rate up even further as well. Okay, and relax there. Let's swap that over to the opposite side. Same thing again. Turning around and facing the bar in the opposite direction. So again, you've got the bar out in front of you, around about sternum height. Get your feet into an athletic stance where you feel comfortable with your squat pattern. A bit of a half squat position, and then extend the bar up. And again, letting your eyes follow the bar path. So that way then you can always have that target. So think about where the bar path is going to end up. Try to be consistent in that range of movement. Feel where your body feels comfortable to go. If it feels good, maybe going a little bit lower. If it starts to feel a little bit different from one side to the other, that's just the benefits of the Rip Trainer, identifying whether your body is truly symmetrical, which often you might find the answer is not quite, but it's an area to work on as well. So keep on pressing that bar out in front of you, reach the arms up and bring it back in towards you. Good. And relax there. Great job. Okay, let's turn you around again. Now the next exercise is going to start to bring your heart rate up. So this is where, now that we've got your body prepared, we're going to start to explore bigger ranges of movement and more explosive movements as well. The next exercise is called a Rip Jack. You're going to stand facing away from the anchor point with the bar path onto your chest and your feet narrow. You're going to jack your legs out wide as you press the bar out in front of you. And this is going to be quite a quick repetitive action so we can get your heart rate up. And you can start to challenge not only your fitness here, but also that dynamic stability as well. Trying to get the body to stabilize very quickly as you move between positions, jumping the legs out and pressing the bar forwards at the same time. Now as those heart rates start to go up now, you can start to feel the reason why we started to work slowly to begin with, because this dynamic movement, it is going to spike your heart rates up and it is going to challenge you. Okay, we've got our 15-second break, 45 seconds on each side, remember. So again, turning and facing away from the anchor point, bar starts on the chest, getting your elbows into a good pressing position, feet are narrow, we jack the feet out and press the arms forwards at the same time. Now as you start to go through these movements, keep a strong rhythm. So if you can keep a little bit of momentum here, that would be great. It's about athletic ability, this one. We've been building up your base of support, getting the stabilizers ready. Now the stabilizers have to work with a bit of dynamic movement, using that elastic resistance to challenge you, and you can start to feel that arm that is nearest the resistance cord is going to start to feel like it's working quite hard to challenge you a little bit more as well. Great job. Okay, relax there. Now the next exercise we're going to do is a split squat row. So for this one, we're going to stand facing towards the anchor point, making sure you swap the arms over. Now we're going to go down into a split squat position, and I'm going to make sure that I feel like I can get into the end range of movement. Bring yourself up, and once you've got that strong foundation movement, lower yourself down into that deep lunge position, and then bring the bar back up towards you. And I want you to think about scissoring those legs together. So think about pulling that front foot in towards the center line of your body and scraping the back foot in towards the center line as well. So you lower the knee down and squeeze the glutes tight together, making sure the weight is equal between both feet as you come up into that tall position where your back is going to maintain that neutral position as well. Great job. Okay, let's loosen that one up. Shake the legs out, swap the feet over. Just prepare the end range of position. So we start from the foundation of the floor. Feet are natural. So foot flat onto the floor, back foot is onto the ball of the foot. Bring the bar in towards the chest, get that end range position. Can you come up, making sure your weight is equal? And then again, extend the arms. As you come up, you bring the bar path in towards the sternum again, so you get that row position. And again, looking towards the anchor point, not only it will help you with your balance, but it will also just make sure you've got consistency and you're looking to feel the resistance constantly working through that upper body. But thinking about scissoring the legs will really give that full body feeling as well. Now to make this exercise harder, you've always got the option of a heavier resistance band, but simply moving further away from the anchor point is a great way to start to challenge you as well. And relax there. Good work. Okay. Now the next exercise is a Rip Hinge Row. So for this one, we're going to take a new foundational movement, and this is a hinge. So we're going to lean forwards, set yourself up into that end range of movement again. Now into that hinge position, bring the bar in towards the collarbones, and then extend the bar out in front of you. Now you're looking to have a slight bend in the knee. Let's get you moving. Bringing both the arms in towards the shoulders, so the bar comes in towards the collarbone, maybe towards the chin. Now try to look down at a spot on the floor, and I want you to be mindful about how much you're rotating. So trying to keep the both hands, to imagine you've got a spirit level in your hands, and you're trying to keep that little bubble in the spirit level equal the whole time. So it's not just pulling with the hand, the power hand, the one that is nearest the cord, it's making sure that both arms are pulling in towards your body equally to challenge your movement in that neutral spine as well. Okay, relax. Bring yourself back up. Loosen the legs up. A little rotation for the lower back if it feels like it's got a little sticky at all. And let's get you set up for the next exercise as well. Same thing on the opposite side. Just check that end range position for me. If that feels comfortable and that everything is in a good level position, let's get you working. So again, this one is about activating the muscles. So we're allowing the heart rate to come back down in this position. But what you're starting to do is just to work on feeling like your hamstrings are working, feel like your lower back is stabilizing and very active, because the work it's stabilizing allows your upper body to be pulling the bar in towards the collarbones, keeping that imaginary bubble nice and level in the spirit level there, keeping consistency through every movement. Good work. You're doing a great job if you're still going. Keep control. Be very mindful about your movement. And relax there. Good. Shake it out a little bit. Now, the next exercise is going to start taking you into something called a Rip Paddleboard Row. Great exercise. Think yourself being out on the water. Equal balance between both feet. You're going to have your base hand in the center of your sternum. Your power hand is going to reach into that lower bar position. And you're going to pull the bar in past your hip, down towards your ankle as you go into a little semi-squat and then bring yourself back up again. So think about that power hand pulling from around about hip height all the way down to around about your knee height, and your base hand, the hand that is just holding the very base of the rip trainer, is going to be next to your sternum, and that one almost comes down to the bottom of your ribs as well. So if you can start to think about those hand positions, where they start and when they finish, that will give you consistency of the movement as well. So imagine you're out on the water, you've got a beautiful bit of scenery around you, and you're just putting yourself through the water. Swap the hands over, ready for your next side as well. So again, base hand has changed, again in front of the sternum. Your power hand is going to be down the rip trainer, and again, you're looking to pull the rip trainer past you. Around about calf to ankle height is a great target as well. Let's get you working. 45 seconds of work, 15 seconds recovery. Always seems to have the recovery which goes really quickly. So keep pulling back. If you start thinking about the work that we did in the previous exercise, where we were hinging with a pull in towards the shoulders, now we're going into a squat where the shoulder is still activating, and this is where you get a little bit of fatigue in your shoulders as well. You might start to notice that one side feels a little bit more comfortable to work than the other. Completely normal, completely expected. It just opens up our eyes as to what the weaknesses might be. So we have to have that concentration on maintaining good form as you pull the bar past you and back up again. Okay, relax there. Now, the next two exercises is a chance for you to push your heart rates a little bit higher. The next exercise is a rip punch. So what we're going to do is we're going to have your power hand and your base hand, and I'm going to just get myself set up so I'm almost sideways on, and I'm just going to chest that end range as I pivot off my back foot, the arm extends out in front, and then bring it back in towards my chest as well. So be a nice quick snap action here. I want you to extend your arm and bring the arm back in towards the body, and each time you're going to pivot off the back foot and start to extend up through the back leg so you can integrate everything from the floor up into that high position where you're going to be working as well. You've got 15 seconds to go. Let's see if we can double the speed up so you can really start to feel that metabolic heart rate increasing, where we can burn some calories and get that explosive movement. As you pivot off the foot, you push the arm out in front of you and relax there. Okay, let's get you set up for the opposite side. You'll be able to see their foot be set up here, so sideways on. And I'm making sure that when I pivot my feet forward, I have got a little bit of a distance in between my feet to make sure my feet aren't too narrow. Okay, from here, let's get you set up. Extend into that end range position. Change the hand position if you feel like the resistance cord is catching your body. Pick a bar target, and that way then you can look all the way down your knuckles as to where the target is going to be. And then push off the floor, trying to get that explosive movement, pushing off the ball of the foot, extending the back leg and pushing the rip trainer through to that same target each time. Now you're going to feel like your resistance band is pulling you backwards. This is where you've got to have a bit of stability and consistency in that position as well. And relax there. Okay. Now the last exercise is a striking option. This is a rip hockey slapshot. Let's get you set up for this one. Again, sideways onto your anchor point. Your base hand is going to be holding out in front of you. That's the furthest point away. Your power hand is palm up, and you're going to pivot into that low position. Now once you've got your target, that's when we're starting to pull your base hand and push through your power hand at the same time. So you're getting this rotation through the foot, but it comes because you are pushing and pulling your hands at the same time. So just give yourself a little bit of room with that hand out in front, and then pull that rip trainer through to that same target each time. Now getting that rotation is a great way to activate through the glutes and also increase your heart rate as well. So keep working on this one, keep pushing through those last couple of repetitions and relax there. Okay, let's swap it over to the opposite side. Same thing. Base hand is going to be the hand furthest from the anchor point. Your power hand is going to be palm up. Let's test that end range of movement position. Once you feel comfortable in that position, making sure your feet are all stable. 45 seconds of work. This is your last exercise. So let's get you pushing. and pulling with those arms at the same time, so give you a little bit of distance with that front base hand, and then pull it in towards your hip as you start to extend that power hand. And again, your target could be down close to the floor, could be around about knee height. It's just that low striking position, pivoting off the ball of the foot each time. It's those pivot mechanics that really make a difference to help you keep good form. And almost just take a second each time you come back to reset your technique as well. And relax there. Great job, everybody. So you can now start to see, with just a few simple exercises, you can feel your heart rate going up, you can feel your strength is being challenged. Now you can repeat these exercises, or you can join us onto our second workout coming up later on as well.